So where we were last time was you were in. Everybody was outside except Bofu, who was inside. I'm trying to remember where. What? Let me see if I can find that.
At the Marazzer
Yes.
headquarters in Horror's Twat.
Yes. No. Yeah, it was Horror Twat, yes.
They want my ring.
So, okay. So what happens? Okay, so you were last time. You had showed the ring to the adjutant, lieutenant, and he had said to take you out and execute you. So there were 4 guards that try to grapple you. Do you want to roll, or just want to let them grapple you?
What would I be rolling?
Okay, that I was looking that up. That's an athletics check for strength, but there's 4 of them, which is
So which means that I'd have to win all 4 times.
yes.
I'll roll.
Good luck.
Okay, so let me see, where is it?
Yeah, let's try rolling.
Let me get back. Where's action? Combat attack. Finish help. Attack rolls. Oh, come on. This is. Actually, I wish I could find my books. Found most of the books for all the other editions, but grapple rules for monsters. Okay. Try to grapple check. Strength. So you can actually, okay. They're going to try, you can use either strength or dexterity because you're the target.
Okay.
So they, all right, so the first one, let's see, I guess you roll 1 against, yeah, you roll 1 time and they roll 4 times.
Okay.
So 7. Wait.
I got 26
How did you get 26?
because
Hey,
I have
what are you
a
rolling for?
+8 athletics and I rolled an 18.
Hunter?
Yes?
Yeah.
I think it's Bofu that's in trouble.
It's Bofu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the rest of us are all outside.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought we were.
so it's only Bofu.
It's only Bofu is getting 4 guys.
Yeah, we don't even know what's happening to him.
He only rolls once against all 4, or
Yeah.
4 times, 1 against each. My first roll was a 22.
Was it 20?
Wait, am I
Okay.
using strength or athletics?
It's athletics.
Athletics. Okay, then that ups that to a 25.
let me do one quick check here. So athletics is...
Because I got a +7 athletics.
Why do you have a +7?
Because my strength is +4, and then I'm proficient in athletics.
Okay, so then theirs would be... Okay, your strength. What's your strength?
My strength is 19.
Okay. Okay, let me try this again. So that would have been... So they're 22. Okay, but isn't there something about with multiple people grappling?
That'd probably be like disadvantage or something.
So, okay, let's see. Creature can be armed has to make a separate escape attempt each of the grapple. Creature speed, okay. Also going to be a deep grapple. In this case, you might. Okay.
Buddy, shut up.
All attack and tag. Action. Yep. Again. Critical attacks to break free. Okay. Okay, wait a second. So if I did that, that would be a 3 plus 4. So that would have been a 24. And what did you roll? 25? Okay. Okay. The conditions is PCs face a group, but 3 of them cast over. Multiple inside that as far as grappling goes, the only way the conflict is if grappling feet. Resisting. Okay. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I should look this up. I was meaning to, but then yeah. Well, let's see. Okay. How would you show for breaking through the break from well. Okay, it's in time. Missed 4. Okay. So, all right. So they attempted to grapple you. You broke the grapple. What do you do now?
I'll go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up there. I was only going to ask a couple of gold. 10 gold, and it's yours, dude. And we never see each other again.
Okay. At this point, 2 more guards run up, and the 6 of them attempt to grapple you. So,
is there enough space around me for 6 guys?
of Well, okay, because nobody's got weapons out, so the hallway is about 8 feet wide. So yes, what happens is you had 4 of you on before. Now you got, well, you could easily 5. So what happens is that so the first one is a 20, 23, 8, 17, 13, 21. So what do you roll? Hello? Did we lose him?
Nope.
Oh, he's still there.
So what did you roll?
Natural 20 for an overall of 27.
Okay. At this time, okay, so the adjutant calls for some more guards, but at this time, behind the adjutant, there's a on the wall. The adjutant's got a little desk in front in the hallway, and behind him on the right is a door. The door opens, and
Sorry, that's mine.
So the door opens, and out steps a human. He's about 6'1". And okay, the Marazzer that you've seen, they all wear leather armor made from Tronlith, which is a very, very thick, heavy armor. But this guy is not wearing that kind of armor. His armor is jet black, flat black, looks somewhat metallic. He stands there and he goes, "Is there a problem?" And the adjutant looks at him and goes, "He's causing some issues." So the person behind him, the adjutant, oh, really? And he gets a funny grin on his face. And he said, "Bring him." So they try and grapple you again.
Let's see. Oh, not as high.
23. 23.
24. I'm rolling good tonight.
Yes, and I'm rolling. This die roller is really sucky.
That's why I wanted my dice, because they love me.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, damn.
So you're grappled, and once one of them grapples you, the rest of them grapple you because you're restrained, right? So you're in the restrained. So if I'm looking at it's restrained, I think is, oh, come on, restrained. the creature's speed, the creature's speed is 0, and attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. So anyway, the adjutant goes, disarm him. So you're grappled, and they're taking your weapons off of you and searching you, and they take your mask. And the adjutant turns around and goes, what do you want to do with him, Colonel? And the colonel says, bring him into my office. So they drag you down to his office. This is a very large office. And the very highly polished wood, it smells of leather and metal, shall we say. And the guy is, the colonel is standing there looking at you, comes over and looks you all over and goes to the adjutant, I think it's on rack 5. And along one side of the room is it's like there's this rack, these racks, and the adjutant pulls. He says, and they slide out like it's a imagine like suits or whatever that are. It's a very ornate closet, and he pulls out. No, not that one. The one 2 over. And the adjutant pulls one out. Yes, that one. And what you see on this rack is the skin of a hobgoblin. Both was a hobgoblin, correct?
Yes.
You see the skin of him, and the colonel walks over, and there's a little tag, and he goes, oh, I remember this one. And he goes, I skinned him in 23 minutes. He lived for another 47. Ah, yes. One of the ones that lasted longer. I remember him. Comes over and looks at you. Now, the guy, because he's wearing a helmet-like thing over his head, and it's really hard to tell his age, but you can tell that he's not young, but he's up there. But as he walks, he's almost got like a dancer's walk, very light on his feet, even though you can tell that he's wearing fairly heavy armor. And he goes, interesting. And so so you look around the room, and as you look around the one whole wall, almost 20 feet of like I said, this is a large office, are these racks with skins on them. And then behind, there's this large ornate desk, highly polished wood, and sitting on the edge of the desk, on the left-hand side of the desk, you see these 7 skulls. Well, they're not really skulls. What they are is they're goblets made from skulls. And they sort of attract your attention. 6 of them are of silver and 1 is of gold. And he goes, oh, I see you've noticed. He said, I was a young man when we invaded. And he goes, you see, he says, as a young lieutenant, and he looks at the lieutenant, and so is everyone back now?
Yeah, I just got
Okay.
kicked off. I'm back.
Okay. So he goes, yeah, the Rob Shaka gave me the honor of one of the minor nobles. He was something like 35th in line, I guess, to the throne. He gave me him and his family. He said, unlike your friend over there, he didn't even survive the skinning. He said, but the Rob Shaka gave me their heads too. And he said, his wife, she was nice for a while. And he says, he actually had 6 daughters, but his oldest daughter had been married off to some other noble, and some other officer got the honor of her. But he said, their second born, she was really nice. So I cut the heads off of all her siblings and sent them to my jeweler. He was busy making the skulls. And he says, but she warmed my bed for a little over 2 months while the jeweler was busy making the goblets from the rest of her family. And then one morning I got up and the jeweler had finished, so I took her head and took it down to the jeweler. She was nice. And he says, but that because she was so nice, I had him use gold for her. And he said, so what is all this ruckus about? And the adjutant brings up the ring. Or did he take? Yeah, he took the ring.
That's my ring.
And he looks at it. And he sets it on the desk. And he reaches down and opens up another drawer and searches around a bit and pulls out another ring. And he goes, he walks up to you and goes, he says, he hands it to the adjutant. He says that's his. He said, that's a poor copy. Now, the ring that you had was made of silver. And he holds up a ring that looks something like your ring, but it's much more ornate and detailed. And he said, yes. This, do you know, he says, your ring is just an imitation. This is a real one. And he says, you see, in yours, you don't even have any gemstones. And he says, here are the 4 gemstones of the torch. You have the red and the 2 white and a yellow. And he says, then the shield is outlined by another 5, just white stuff, white. He says, and if you go out at night and hold it up and look in the sky, you can find this pattern. And he goes, this is where the blood comet will show. He walks back and drops the ring back down into his desk and closes it. So what do you know of the blood comet?
Absolutely nothing. I was given that ring for taking on a Tronlith and living.
He chuckles a bit. And he goes, oh, so you took on one of the domestic Tronlith. And laughs. And he said, the blood comet comes every 53 years. 50 years ago, the blood comet showed, and we invaded. The Marazzer always go on the move when the Blood Comet returns. So we have an interesting question. What happens when the Blood Comet returns? He says, there are some of those, of which I am one, who think that means we should just end the occupation here and slaughter all of you. He says, there are others who say we should return, and there are yet others who say, no, we should find someplace else to go, some other land to conquer. And I go, we conquered this land, but you are just too much work. He says, I'm an old man, but I would look forward to slaughtering all of Greth. And he looks at you and goes, interesting. And he walks up and he tells them, hold him tight. So they hold him tight. And he walks up and walks behind you, looks at you, walks around. You should always look your attacker in the eyes. And he reaches up and grabs one of your ears and just cuts a little notch out of it. And it's a funny little notch. And he goes, there. Takes the little piece of ear. He says, open your mouth. Say aw. And some of the guards prod you with daggers. And he tosses the little piece in your mouth and goes, I suggest you swallow it. And he goes, so who gave you the ring?
He sees no harm. You tell him that it was the one woman across the way.
And he looks at him and he says, looks at the adjutant and goes, we don't need to execute him. Just beat him and throw him out. So the six of them, they come over and they drag you out. And the rest of the party sees them drag you out into the courtyard. And a group of 10 guys with, let's just say clubs, just come up and take turns beating you, hitting you quite hard over and over and over again, and till you're definitely bloodied. You're not dead. You're down to about 5 hit points. And the adjutant says, that's enough. And they drag you over, and there's your pile of your equipment. And they drop you there. And he goes, oh, and I wouldn't want you to forget about this, and flips the ring down onto the pile. So there you're lying there, all bruised and bloodied with a notched ear. And what do you do?
Push myself up, rearm myself, the ring in my pouch, walk over to the party.
Okay. So
No grunts, No screams, just another day on the job.
Are you mask on or off?
Mask is off.
So you're standing there. So what do you want to do now?
Bofu would really like to go back to his room right now.
Well, yeah, Darla's not feeling really well herself from the last skirmish. So what kind of day is it right now? Is it nighttime?
Well, you came over in the morning, so you spent. It's getting toward, say, 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, I say we should head back to dinner and some nice sleep.
Okay. So you take the ferry back, relatively uneventful. You get back over, and the ferryman says, what did he say about this? There you go. He asks Darla about, he said, oh, so where's your friend?
Oh, is he talking about the lady?
Yes.
Oh, I was like, I'll be like, I prefer sausage to taco. She's not really my type. And I throw him a wink.
And he goes, okay. So he said, oh, all right. So you wander back to the, let's see, what is it? It's the
Builder's Tavern or whatever it is.
Yeah, the Drunken Builders Tavern, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Drunken Builders Tavern. And you come sort of, shall we say, dragging in. And do you want to eat dinner or just go up to the room?
Bofu can eat.
Darla's going to have dinner.
Okay.
Barbos is gonna eat too.
So
What is the hardest booze they have in this tavern? Still tastes good, I guess.
okay. Now, what's remember what was it? What's trying to remember. Is it? Who was it that was it Bofu or was it Barbos that was looking for an assassin or something?
I think that's both.
Bofu.
Bofu. Okay. Okay.
Bofu's looking for Amos Kintan.
Okay. Almost Kente, yes. All right. Now then. So as you sit down to eat, the owner, the woman comes up and has the waitress come over and take your order. And she comes over and whispers to Bofu, you have another caller. Can you get rid of these? They're becoming an annoyance.
What was that? I didn't catch that last part.
They're becoming an annoyance.
All right.
So they said he went away. She said he went away. But you had another caller. They're becoming an annoyance. So,
Can you describe him?
oh, this is medium height, dressed in gray, of course. Tried to hide in the shadows, had bright blue eyes though, but was sniffing around for you.
What color hair did he have?
I don't know. He says he kept his hoodie up, or whatever the term is. And he says he just was asking about you. So
Did he leave a name
no.
or a way to get a hold of him?
No, he just asked if you were around. And these are annoying. I don't like that kind of people in my establishment. And anyway, so they serve you dinner and you go back up to your rooms.
And I make sure I order steak, well done, no sauce.
Okay. So they bring you out and the waitress comes up and whispers to you, "We don't have any sauce here in this place."
That's good. That's a good thing.
So anyway, they bring you out your steak. They bring you out your meals. So the place is relatively quiet until just before you leave, and this guy comes in and he's sort of doing this magician's act, trying to the owner grudgingly allows this guy to come in, and he's doing this magician's act with he's got some birds and so on. and they're fluttering around, and he does some sleight of hand, and another patron stands up and walks over and catches one of the birds out of the air and eats it. And at this point, there's this kerfluffle between the the magician and this other patron who is somewhat cat-like. And do you stick around or do you just go back up to your rooms?
Bofu's heading up to his room. He's sore.
Okay.
Yes, Darla too. Down 20 hit points, so I need to rest.
Okay. So as you're doing this, so what is Barbos wearing?
Let me check. Just normal clothes.
Just normal clothes. So anyway, Barros, give me a perception.
$16.
Okay, so as you're walking away, and your armor class is 16, correct?
17.
17. Okay. And let's see. What happens is you feel a little like pinprick in your it isn't, it's like somebody what you do is you turn around and you see a little dart stuck into your clothing, but it didn't penetrate your clothing or your armor, and it's just a little like a short toothpick with a sharp tip that seems to be covered with a sticky substance on the end, and that's all you see.
Can I look around and see if I see anybody looking suspicious?
Well, you see everybody tends to be watching this interaction between the magician and the tabaxi. It seems now that the cat has eaten a second bird and the magician is trying to beat the cat and protect his birds and so on. And the proprietor is sort of chuckling at all of this antics.
I'll stay downstairs and wait a little.
Okay. So the rest of you go upstairs, and finally it gets a little violent, and the proprietor says to both of them, "Out, both of you." And they look at her, and they can tell she now means it, and so they both, the magician packs up his stuff and heads out, and the tabaxi walks out ahead of him, and they step outside, and the room goes back to normal, just dinner going on, relatively quiet, but nothing else. So what do you do?
Did anybody else leave?
No. Well, okay. Now after the kerfluffle, a couple of people who've finished eating head up to their rooms, and another couple head out the door.
Okay, I'll just go to my room.
Okay, so you'll go to your room. Okay. So, let's see. All right. So it's you spend a fairly quiet evening. Nothing, nothing interrupts you.
While I'm in my room, can I look at the dart and see if there's any distinguishing features on it?
It's like there's no fins, there's no nothing. It's just a little, about this long piece of wood with, it's round, comes down to a point, and there's, the tip of the dart is, you see this blackish green something on the tip, and when you pulled it out, you could tell that the tip was a little sticky.
Okay. I'll just wait in my room until morning and not sleep. Stay on guard.
Okay, but aren't you going to be tired in the morning?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I'll sleep.
Okay. So, anyway, in the morning, you wake up, and go down for breakfast, I assume?
Yes.
And Bofu is still without his mask. It's put away.
Okay. So you go down. They don't really look too much at you. And you sit down to eat. And the waitress comes up to Darla. She comes up and says, "Oh, you have an admirer," and sets it's a little vase with a single flower on it, and in front of Darla, and says, "This was left for you."
Thank you. Is there a card or a note, or I guess no notes or anything? Did they say who they were?
Oh, they said, the only thing was that she's expecting you at the Pink Plank.
Okay. Shut up, dog.
So, what do you guys want to do now?
Well, while we're sitting there having our breakfast, I guess ask the fellas there. Shut up. We need to go back to the Marazzer on this side of town, right? To tell them we did our thing. Or before did his thing. Eric, shut up. Hold on a second.
So, is that what everybody wants to do, or what do you want to?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And then maybe
Bofu's good.
maybe after that we'll go see what this lady wants.
Okay. So, you walk back over to the garrison, and tell me what you do after breakfast, I assume.
Well, it's both who leads, right? It was your mission, sir.
Yep, Bofu's in the lead. Mask off. And he's going to walk in. Just
Okay.
stroll right in.
As you approach, okay, as you approach the garrison, oh yes. Yeah, okay. As you approach the garrison, from let me share. So here's the Drunken Builder Tavern. And the garrison's over here. And as you come up to the garrison,
I'm kind of close.
everybody roll a perception roll.
I got an 11. Oh. All right. I'll be
21.
I can see you guys. Go ahead.
What did you get?
21.
21. Okay.
I got a 20 combined.
Okay. So as you're coming up to the garrison, you notice a little bit of a shadowy something moving on one of the rooftops. And Barbos you see and feel like another little dart hit your cloak, and then the shadowy figure disappeared over the crest of the rooftops.
What does Bofu see?
You just saw a shadowy figure up on top of the roof do something, and then just like you're seeing the crest of the roof, and it's something just peeked up over the top of the roof, did something, and then disappeared.
Barbos is going to say, we need to kill that, and then start running.
The word kill, Bofu's gonna grin and follow.
And Darla will roll her eyes and follow.
Okay. So you charge.
I have a question real quick. How did we rested last night? How much HP did we get back? Like, how does that work?
Okay. Let me see. And we'll share. So, healing. Player's handbook. Six saving throws. Temporary hit points, amount of combat. No, that didn't help. Dungeon Master's Guide. Healer's Kit, Healing Surges, Rest Variants. Okay. Adventuring. Time, movement, speed. Thought it was.
Might be long rest.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find. This is long rest. Character so to gain a character receive. Okay, to gain. Okay, so here we go. So this is adventuring. At least 8 hours. Sleeps or performs light activity. Rest is in a period. Okay. End of luck regains all lost hit points.
Okay, so I got them all back?
What?
Was it, so I've gained them all back?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Start. Okay. End of a long rest, character regains all lost hit points. The character regains spent hit dice up to the number of dice equal to total number of dice. Yeah. So anyway, so okay, so you're all fully healed, and so you only saw a shadowy figure up on the roof. So you charge over in that direction, or what?
Yeah, I'm just gonna charge it.
So, so as you're, so you were heading over to here. This is the courtyard for the going into the garrison. What happened is the shadow figure was on top of this roof, and you charge over this way. As you come around the corner, or you try and climb the building or whatever, I'm assuming you're going to go around the corner or whatever. That
I'll try to climb it.
you'll try to climb it up the. Okay, it's a. I think it's a one-story building, so we'll. Yeah. Okay. So. So this is, it's a residence store. So you climb up the building. It's, okay. It is a one-story building. So you get up there, you don't really see anything. And I guess what does the rest of the party do?
Whatever which way Bofu goes, I'm gonna go the opposite direction around to see if maybe we can,
Okay. So anyway, you come out and it's just there's normal traffic on the street. I mean, there's a cart coming down the street loaded with supplies. You see some people. This is a shop and this is a shop. And so is this. This is a shop. And what happens is that they're you're sort of in a merchant area, and they're dropping off supplies. And this is a large merchant, and this is a merchant, and so they're dropping off supplies to the store. You know, this guy is bringing up stuff to the, loading it and unloading it from the various places there. You see, you know, guys out sweeping the sidewalk, sweeping the sidewalk and entrance to their stores, and opening up their entrances, you know, because it's still fairly early in the morning. And it's the early morning, you know, just standard things going on. You don't see anyone really. Anyone standing out. There's people here, there's people here, there's people here, here, and, you know, in the front of the buildings. And then there's this cart that's there. So what do you do?
Can I look in the cart?
Well, what happens? Yeah, it's a standard wagon. It's horse drawn. So they in the back of it are variety. You know, there's barrels and boxes, and the guy is offloading a bunch of stuff into here. And as you walk up, and he goes, "Want to earn a couple of coppers? I could use some help."
Say no thanks and just start looking around again.
So he's offloading. He's taking off some big heavy boxes and dragging them over into this shop, and then he drags
Both
back.
go, sure.
Okay, so he's asking. So he says, "Here, I'll give you. Drag this." First off, he says, "Drag this box. This, you know, it's a big wooden crate. Drag this crate over into there." So you take it over, and the merchant says, "Yeah, just stack that over there." And it's really quite heavy. And this is a merchant. This is a large merchant or trade house. And he says, "Stack that against the wall." So you stack it against the wall, and he says, "And to put these back out on the cart." And there are some other wooden crates that they take over and put on the cart. And the guy goes, "Thanks. Dealing with that stuff is always heavy." And he gives
What was
you.
that? It kicked me off.
Okay. Says it's all dealing with his stuff. It's always heavy. And he says, "It saves my back a bit." He hands you 5 coppers. Says, "Thanks a lot." And he said, so then he,
And Bofu will quiz him about any suspicious characters that just moved about.
and he goes, "Other than you guys?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "We're right next to the garrison. There aren't many suspicious characters around here." What do you consider suspicious?
A guy wearing dark clothing, creeping about across rooftops.
Creeping around rooftops. No, I haven't seen anything.
Point across to the rooftop I just saw him on, and like he was just there a few minutes ago.
No, I've been busy.
All right.
Why would somebody be creeping along the rooftops?
I don't know. You'd have to ask my friend there. He was the one that wanted to go catch the guy.
Okay, I gotta write an idea down. So one of the, I always keep track of bizarre ideas, and this one is. Since I was thinking of this, this was not part of this, but yeah, Fiddler on the Roof.
Well, you're talking about skins. You were talking about skins earlier, and I had the song "Goodbye Horses" going through my head. So,
Not familiar with the song, but
that's from Silence of the Lambs.
oh,
Did you hear it?
oh,
Where he's, goodbye horses.
yes, okay, yes. It puts the lotion on or gets the hose again.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
But Buffalo's
No,
still
these
not-
darts. Oh, I'm sorry. These darts are going after Barbos, right?
Yes. So, what else do you do?
Buffalo finished helping out, dragging the stuff where he needed to go.
Okay. And he says, I can get the rest of them. It's just this one was heavy.
Sure, no problem.
So you're standing beside the street, or if one of you is up on the rooftop.
I came down to look at the wagon.
Okay. So they're, he's just gone down the street, dropping things off and picking things up, going to the various shops along this street.
I just been kind of standing in the alleyway there, kind of just watching people. Do I see anybody who looks like they're like trying not to be seen? Like avoiding their gaze and like really trying not to be noticed.
No.
Kind of like me.
No, they're just busy along their work, getting ready for the morning. But you're standing in the alleyway here, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And while you're standing there, someone comes out of. Okay, sorry, shouldn't have done that. Down at the end of the street, this building here. At the end of the street. Okay, so this older man steps out and walking kind of crooked and doesn't seem to be what shall we say, fully sober. And he wanders up this way, and he's dressed a bit foppish, and he sees it's Darla standing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wanders over to Darla and says, "Hi, sweetie." Okay, I got to do this one. He said, "Got a joke for you." He leans up close to her and says, "Who's your favorite?" It says, "Guess who my favorite magician is?"
I already know the answer, but go ahead. I stick my boobs out a little further.
Well, he reaches around and gives you a little tweak on the ass. David Copperfield. Actually feel sorry for that. There's been some discussion. He's 93 years old.
Yes, George Senior.
George H.W. Bush, yes. And you know,
once you reach a certain age, you're allowed to be a dirty old man. You know what I mean? I mean, that should be allowed. Because they can't do much else.
Well, one of the ways I used to get my late wife really angry at me, and I would tell her, I said, marriage certificate is only good for 100 years. And if I make it to 135, I'm going to divorce you and find 2 spry young 60-year-olds to take your place. I make it to 135. Yeah. She'd get mad at me. Oh, she'd get mad at me. Oh, and I said that. But you feel sorry for, that it's like, I don't know if you heard, I don't know if Ginsburg's husband is still alive. He has Alzheimer's. And I remember she was saying he doesn't remember her at all. And she went in, he knows that she's some sort of relationship, and he was telling her about his girlfriend. He had found somebody else in the rest home, which has got to be extremely rough because he I don't know if he's passed away or not, but I felt sorry for Ginsburg, and I actually feel sorry for, he's 93 years, been in a wheelchair for, was it 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, like I said, like I said, you live that long, you're entitled. You're entitled to,
Well, okay, but then you look at the lady's perspective, and they don't like that, and I can understand that.
I think it's totally fine. I said, what are you gonna do? You gonna hit him? No. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Just don't get too close. He's handsy.
Yeah, and they said he does have dementia to some extent. So anyway,
apparently he tells that joke like to all of them. So it's like he's just reliving that moment over and over. And hey, right on.
Yeah. So anyway,
this guy does this to me. You said he's old and he's a little drunk, right?
Yeah, and he's definitely got whiskey breath.
So I want to put my hand like around his waist and just say, "Gee, darling, I want to have what you're having," and I want to pick his pocket.
Okay. So, you pick his pocket. So he's more interested in, shall we say, copying a feel, and doesn't.
Oh, I'm letting him feel all around if he wants.
Okay. So while you're picking his pocket, and you find you find 7 gold and 5 silver, and a small little flask, and a funny looking key. Anyway.
Well, I'll let him, I guess, loosen up my tunic a bit. I'll let him motorboat me and then let him kind of move on his way. I'll kind of stick his head there,
Okay.
And have a good morning.
Okay.
and then slink back into the shadows.
As as you're doing this right here, an older woman steps out of this building here. She sees him. What's the distance? Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing. Distance. But from where you're at to where she's at is 90 some odd feet. So she sees him, and she sees him, shall we say, molesting you. And you hear her scream, "Jalisa, get away from that trollop." And she comes running down, you know, classic. She's got a rolling pin running down the street to him, and he goes, "Oh, what's up, dear?" He turns around, and what do you do?
I smile, shrug, and say, "You need to keep a tight leash on him, ma'am." And just kind of tip, or bow, and kind of walk away.
Okay, let me do. She said, "You trollop." And she grabs him by the ear and is dragging him back down the street. But this tended to get the notice of some of a couple of the soldiers in the garrison here. And a couple of soldiers wander up to Darla and go, "Oh, early in the morning. You're plying your trade early, aren't you?"
No. Man came up, grabbed my butt. He was a little drunk. I was being friendly and not rude, and Mrs. came and got him.
And the guy goes,
"I'm here with my friends. They're standing over there. I'm just hanging out."
and he goes,
We were coming to see you, actually.
"We can be real friendly too." And he goes, "What's the price for two?" And they're looking you over like a piece of meat.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not working here. There is no price.
"Oh, it's free."
No.
And the guy walks up and he's
Nothing in this world
free.
free. In that case, I am way too expensive for you.
And he walks up. The one walks up and looks you over, and the other one comes around the other side and pats you on the ass and says, "Nice."
You guys need more women in this town.
Maybe not more women, just more ladies plying their
Ladies of the
trade
evening?
just early in the morning.
Hold on a second. I got a great response for that. What was that lady's name?
Oh,
let me find it.
Rowan?
Ryan?
Yes.
Is it Ryan?
R-I.
I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Go down. You go over to the horse twat and go into the pink plank and ask for Ryan and tell him Darla sent you. Shit.
And the guys go, he says, the pink plank? And they look at you and he says, no. We would never go in the pink plank. That's more like that's more like ladies. Then it goes to you, whatever you do to get yourself off, I don't care. And he grabs your hand and he says, puts it down to his crotch and goes, you want to give me a hand?
Now these are Marazzer guards. Are these?
Yes.
Can Bofu pick this time to walk over?
Sure.
Oh, I see you coming, and I'm just like, hold off, dude. Like, see, see, I'm new in town, okay? Okay, you called it. I used to be on the job. I don't know, what are the going rates around here?
No, we'll make it for a while.
I'm willing to do this for a favor later. Call it a good and hard right now. Take me wherever you like. But I get a get out of jail free card later.
About this time, one of the sergeants walks out, sees these two guys over there, and you hear him yell, "What the hell are you doing?" And the two guys look a little bit and they go, the one guy winks at you and goes, "Later, dear." And they head back over to the sergeant, and the sergeant calls them to attention and is addressing them down and goes, "You know what the penalty for rape is here?" And the two of them shake their head. "We cut your balls off." And he says, "Do you want that to happen? You don't fraternize with the ladies here that way." And he's screaming at them up and down, and they seem to be sort of distracted at this point in time.
Am I close enough? I mean, are they close? Am I still close to them? Are they?
Sure.
Can I pipe in and say something? I go to their sergeant. I'm like, "Oh, don't be too hard on them. I'm new in town, and they were just welcoming me to the neighborhood."
You're right there. They're right about here. So you're 42 feet away.
Oh. Well, because we're going to be going to them anyway, right? I imagine like the guys have kind of like come around the corner and
Yeah.
they kind of see this going on. I go up to them. I said, "Don't be too hard on them. They were just welcoming me to the neighborhood and letting me know where good shops are and things like that. And I'm a real friendly and handsy person, so don't be too hard on them. There was no rapey.
No rape.
And I shoot the guard a wink like.
Anyway. Okay. The sergeant looks you over and goes, okay, none of you have been in the military, right?
No.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, so yes. Anyway, so the sergeant looks you over and just shakes his head and says, "You want to get out of my compound." Now, about this time, I assume Bofo and
Yeah.
what was that?
Barbos.
Barbos have shown up, and he goes. The sergeant looks at them and, what do you want?
He asked to speak to the lady that he spoke to before.
And he says, brave man. Brave man. And he says, okay, come with me. And he walks into the garrison. And there's this eating area, shall we say. And you see the lady sitting there munching down some eggs and such. And the sergeant motions for you. There she is.
You'll walk over to her, greet her,
And she goes,
says, I did your task.
she looks at you and goes, you're alive. Interesting.
It was a fake.
What was a fake?
The ring.
And who told you that?
The whatever the rank they used for him.
Colonel.
Colonel. Yeah, the colonel told me.
So he said this was a fake.
Yeah. It's missing the gems.
And she says, okay, I'll take that. So he knows what it is. Did he tell you anything else?
Just what the gems mean.
And what did it? Okay. She said, you survived. I may have some other things for you to do, but nothing today. She says, come
Just
back.
so you know, any further jobs will require payment. I nearly lost my life over this bloody ring.
She chuckles and goes, hey, that's the nature of the job, isn't it? And she looks at you and goes, okay.
For
Hey.
risking my life, I usually get at least 30 to 40 gold. Minimum.
She looks over at a sergeant. She looks over at another guy and says, get him 20 gold. Give him 20 gold. And she says, next time, if you're good, we'll talk about a better payment. But that's all for
Fine.
So she gives you 20 gold. Or are you?
Yep. And he'll tell him when the guy gives him the 20 gold, he'll say, I'm staying at the Drunken Builder Tavern.
She says, yes, I know. So, now then, So she says, come back in a couple of days.
Fine.
So you walk back out, I assume. Or they escort you out.
Then he's gonna go out and go, okay, job's done. Where do we go now?
I think we should find somebody to talk to about this blood comet thing. And what it's all about. Like, should we be preparing to defend ourselves against all these dudes, or are they just going to up and leave? It's kind of weird. Assuming you told us about the whole blood comet thing.
Yeah, he would have told you about that over breakfast.
Okay. But yeah, it's like in like 3 years, like what's up? Maybe.
So
I don't know. I don't know if I want to go to that pink place. I don't want to work.
I think it's best.
Parbos, what do you want to do?
I think it's just best to avoid the Marazzer.
Well, it's kind of hard when they run the place and all over.
I know, but we should avoid any contact with them.
Yeah. Stay out of trouble, Bofu.
Trouble
Check
finds
out
me. I don't go looking for trouble.
Gonna take out the dart and tell them to keep their heads up. Someone's throwing darts at me.
Yeah, what's up with that, dude?
Not sure. If you see anything, just say something and I'll try and kill it.
Fair enough.
okay, so you're in the compound. Where are you headed now?
I guess it's still early in the day. Let's just kind of wander around town, see what's about.
Let's see if we can find a less stinky job.
Yeah, is there maybe a town posting of sorts? Or
Well, not
like
you've okay. So there were a couple other jobs that you've heard about, but oh, that's interesting. I crashed it. Okay. Stop. So anyway, so you want to wander around town a little bit. Okay, so you step out into the street, and let's get back here. You step out into the street here, assuming that you're coming here or here, whichever, doesn't really matter. And from here, what's the distance? It's 120 feet. Well, actually, okay. From here, it's 50 feet. That's more like it. So what happens is as Bofu steps out into the street, a rock gets thrown from here at Bofu. So
Again?
yes,
Catch it and throw it back. I'll in the reflexes.
Oh well, they rolled a 1. You see a street urchin here try to throw a rock and hit himself in the head with it, and fall over. and he stands up and screams, "He tried to kill me!" and points at you.
He'll call for the. Both will call for the Marazzer.
And Darla yells, "You throw like a girl. Go home."
So then the kid turns tail and runs.
I look at both of them and say, "I can't take you anywhere, man."
They started it. I was gonna finish it, but you intervened.
Don't need to be killing no more kids, man. Gonna end up flayed.
That was a fluke. You'll never see it happen again.
So, okay. So, I'm going to take a little bit of tussin. Sometimes this cough. Okay, so you're looking around, and the guy who's been delivering things, he'd offloaded and then was heading back up the street. And he looks at you and he says, if you're looking for work, I understand the priest needs someone to clean up the basement. So this is there's a priest who lives here. And so he says, because he says, if you're looking for work, the priest over there needs someone to clean up the basement.
Clean up the basement of what?
Temple?
Chapel, yeah.
What's in the basement of
sounds
the
like-
temple that needs to be cleaned? Dust?
There might be some old relics down there. That sounds like good, honest work for Darla.
Bofu starts rubbing his hands like he needs to smash something soon.
I was gonna ask Barbos, like the guy who did dart the night before.
I don't think you know that happened the night before.
Yeah, that's what I was asking if you told us about it.
Oh no, I only told you about today.
But between
I just said that
darts
throwing darts at me.
and guys throwing darts and street urchins, maybe we might look into a nicer neighborhood.
I like this neighborhood. Allows me to get plenty of smash on.
I think it's a good idea to move somewhere.
Yeah, we can still come back here to smash though, right?
Yes.
We can always come back to smash them.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Close a couple. Here. Um, there we go. So 1 second. Let me see what I'm doing here. So okay, wait a second. Why am I having a hard time here? So okay. Typology. Um, John, okay. Bard, experience point. Okay. All right. Okay, that's what I was. Parma language. It's been a while since I've done this, so it takes me a second. Okay. That would be okay. Yep. So, is that right? Experience points. Experience points. That's wrong. It's either wrong or. Okay, that's a little bit.
Excuse me.
More and more I use D&D Beyond, the less and less I like it. So,
Well, I see what you've been sharing, and I kind of like what the idea of it, that you can just like quickly look up stuff, but it doesn't seem to be
yeah,
as conducive as it should be. You know, like
no, it's not, and that's the problem. Is it's indexing? Let's see. Um, okay. Okay. See, they only have it's really indexed poorly because they trying to find things in here is and then sometimes their hyperlinks are just truly truly awful. And oh man, see that the indexes in the book are useful, and there's nothing that, at least I haven't found, where you can go from which is great, but it's one of the indexes, appendices. No, I thought there was, okay. The Dungeon Master Guide. Give me one. Sorry about this. It's just okay. That will be interesting. Oh, you. There we go. Okay, so all right. So you go over to the chapel. it's more of a what's the term? Where they store where they store the dead. It's more of a what's the term for that? Mausoleum. So the local priest there says there's been some noises down in the basement that I don't like. Should be quiet. And says, I'd like you to go. It says, I am not a fighter or anything like that. I'd like you to go down and get rid of the noise. So.
Well, sounds like you might get to smash something, Bofu.
How much are we getting paid?
And he said, well, I can give you each a potion of healing.
I'll take that.
Bofu same.
That works.
What?
That works. We'll take it.
Okay, it says, I'll give it to you when you get rid of the noises and tell me what it was.
Sure.
Okay, so we lead you over to the inside the mausoleum. He leads you over to the door to the lower levels. And he opens up the door, and it's a dark staircase going down. And he says, and you hear this like chains rattling and a cracking sound.
Bofu's gonna start laughing gaily. Like he's very, very happy.
Okay.
You guys ready to go kill some undead?
I pull out my short sword and say, "You lead."
Take out my great axe and say, I'll lead.
Well, there you go.
Bofu's like, me stronger, me lead.
No, me stronger, me lead.
You wanna
Who's
go?
faster?
40 feet.
40 feet. Going arm wrestle?
Darla takes a coin out and flips it. Call it.
Heads.
Tails.
And I'm gonna roll a dice here. Hold on. It is tails.
Yeah.
You lead now. When you die, I lead.
Fair. Let's go.
Okay.
Boys.
So you're heading down the stairs, and you hear the sounds. It's going down, and then the chamber off to the right and off to the left, and you hear the sounds of the chamber off to the right. And along the way, little alcove, little niches. I think that's even the proper term, where there are urns with the ashes of the dead, and you come down to this passageway going left and right, staircase continuing down, and off to the right there's the sound. So what do you do, or just?
Well, since we already all drew our weapons, Bofu's just gonna let Burbos lead because Burbos wanted to lead.
So all the sound.
So Barbos, as you're coming down, it's as you enter, the sound of the chains and the cracking cease, and the chamber goes on for a while, and then turns left and opens up into another chamber on the left and right. And again, it's on the right. You hear that was where you heard the sound, and now the sound is quiet. So you're coming up to a corridor, going left and right, and so just Bofu, Barbo's just gonna lead the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you step into the room, do a DC Wisdom save. What did you roll?
9.
Okay. So you step into the room. Turn around and take a swing at Bofu with all your might.
So roll for an attack.
Yeah.
Gotta get 20 or higher or it's a miss.
Plus 11, that's 30. So roll for damage now.
$30's higher than 20.
So okay.
That's 16 damage.
16 damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does Bofu do?
Bofu's gonna attack back
I say,
Okay.
after
sorry.
raging. Unless he apologizes real quick.
I say, oops, sorry.
No, he doesn't apologize.
Okay. Rage gives me +2, so it's those. So that's where's my? There it is. 10, 9. So I'm guessing a 20 hits.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that wasn't me. Good. Where's my bag disappeared? Oh, no, there it is. Sorry, I gotta get a D12. I gotta pull my calculator. 17 points of damage.
Okay. Barbos gets another save. DC 15. Because he took damage.
What happens?
You get another save because you took damage. You get to do another save.
Okay, save for what?
DC
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
DC 15.
18.
Okay. So you notice that you're no longer you were under the charm of something, but behind Barbos, you see this beautiful, voluptuous woman, and she looks at Bofu, and Bofu has to do a DC 15 wisdom save.
15.
Okay. So you see this. So now you see this beautiful woman behind Barbos, and she is standing there. It's your guy's turn.
Who's first? Bofu?
It actually would be Barbos.
Okay, Barbos, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna rage for my bonus action, and then I'm gonna swing at her twice. First one does 26, and the second one is 28.
Okay. No, but you got to roll the hit, right?
Put the thing on the couch.
So what
Yeah,
happens?
those are my rolls to hit.
Oh, the rolls to hit.
Yeah, not the damage.
Okay. So what's the okay, so you hit.
First one does 19 plus the 2 for the rage, 21.
Okay, but what kind of damage is it?
Slashing.
Okay. So okay, so let me go here. Where are the mouse? No cards. And what was the first hit?
21.
What was the second hit?
18.
Okay. And then she steps back and transforms into a large fiend-like creature with wings. Okay. And she looks at Darla. Darla needs to do a wisdom save.
Okay. And I rolled a 9.
So I'll let you choose. Do you want to attack Bofu or Barbo?
Well, I thought that was behind Bofu, so I guess.
Yeah, so you get to attack from behind.
Okay. So 6. And attack from behind, that's +2, right?
Say again?
Back attack. Is that like +2?
Yes.
Well, that was a natural 20 plus 10, 30.
Okay. So we'll assume you're going after. Okay, so I'll assume you're going after Bofu.
Yeah. That's 13 damage.
So now it's Bofu's turn.
I just got attacked from behind.
You have
Yes.
resistance to physical attacks when you're raging, don't you?
Yeah, half damage. So what does 13 become when cut in half?
7. Well, 6.
Okay.
6.
6? Okay. Just for my sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna turn around and give her a nice punch to the head.
Okay. Swing.
Now, a 21 hits you, right?
Yes.
Alright, you get 5 damage.
Okay.
And you get to save. DC Wisdom.
Okay, wisdom save. Wisdom is my modifier is a 0. So you know. 12.
Okay.
Ow!
Okay. Now then, I think it's back to Barbos.
Okay, I'm gonna take 2 swings at her again. The
Okay.
ghost thing. First one is 21, and the second one is 18. Yeah, 18.
Okay, both hit.
The first attack does 16, and the second one does 18.
Okay. She's bloodied. I think it's her turn now to attack Barbos. So she does. She attacks with her melee weapon. Um, 19.
That hits.
So for 9.
It's half because I'm raging.
Okay.
So 4 or 5.
Yes. Now then, okay, that's Barbos. It's Bofu's turn. No, actually, it would be Darla's turn.
Yeah, Darla's before Bofu.
Darla. So Darla.
So I'm attacking Bofu again.
Yes.
Does the 9 hit?
Nope.
Okay, so then it's Bofu.
Woohoo! Natural 20.
Okay.
So
See,
5
pip slap.
damage.
Critical
Yep,
damage?
another bit of damage. 'Cause I'm not trying to hurt her too badly. I'm trying to wake her the hell up.
I know, but it's a critical hit. So
So,
that, but
so
isn't that max damage?
it doesn't matter. The damage is the same. It's 5. It's my fist,
Okay.
and I'm not proficient
Okay.
with
So
unarmed.
then Darla gets another save.
Come on. 4.
All right. Now then, I think it's the creature's turn, correct?
Yes.
So the creature rolls again. $14? Is that it?
Who?
No. Okay.
Wait, who does it hit?
That'd be Barbos.
Oh, that's a miss.
Okay. Now then, it's Barbos' turn.
Another 2 attacks on her.
He's bloodied, by the way.
That's a natural 20.
Look at it. Kick some of your 20s down to me, man.
How much damage?
Oh, for the natural 20. That is 32.
Okay, and the other one?
20.
20 damage?
Yep.
Okay, so that was Barbos. Then it's back to Darla.
Darla.
Okay. Rolled a 2 to hit.
2?
Okay. So,
All right. Bofu. Ooh. Let's see here. That's plus 7. 18. Well, yeah, 18 hits you. That's base.
Yeah.
So 5.
that's a hit.
So 5 damage. He's gonna keep love tap until she wakes the hell up.
okay. So we're going to bark
Can I get another save?
Now you get another save, yes.
15.
Okay, you save.
And now it's the creature's turn.
That's the creature's turn. What the creature does is spreads her wings and tries to fly away.
Can I throw one of the darts at her?
Sure.
12.
That's a miss.
Okay.
So she flies over your head, and you see her go down the stick. So
I don't know.
I'm just going to walk up to her to finish my turn.
okay, so she flies over your head and flies down the stairs to the lower level. So what does the party do?
I guess we give chase. All right.
Yep, Bofu wants to chase.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all whooped her mind control mojo.
I'll follow you guys, but I'm gonna put my short sword away and pull out my bow.
All right. So, so she goes down the stair. And goes down and turns left into, the staircase continues down, and then it goes left and right, and you see her disappear down to the left, and you're chasing her. All right. So then, you hear an chanting, and all right. But here's some chanting, and you just chase down, and I guess is Barbo's still in the lead, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to switch.
Nah, I'll still lead.
Okay. Give me a initiative roll.
15.
6.
10.
Okay, I'm switching out that dice because it is shitty.
Okay. They rolled an 18. All right. So Barbos, who's in the lead, as you turn the corner, you need to do a DC Wisdom save.
That's natural 20.
Okay.
Nice.
But that's only a 19 because I have -1 wisdom.
Okay. So you see a. Oh, okay. And then it actually does another attack with its fist. Okay, so it does attack. $13.
Misses.
Okay. So it's a mummy who's standing there, And it's okay. So it's your turn.
Gonna swing at it twice.
Okay.
Jesus. 2 natural 20. Oh!
Go buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah!
No kidding, man.
Okay. So what's the damage?
First one's 18. Second one is 33.
Okay. Now then, Bofu would just be behind. So okay, so Bofu would be behind. What does Bofu do?
Bofu's gonna attack the mummy.
Okay.
Unmodified 18. Does that hit?
Yes.
'Cause I can add. Okay, I was gonna say I can add 7 to that. I mean 10, which is 28. But
Okay.
it hits. Come on, D12. Give me. Oh. There it is. 12, 9. 21 damage. I got max damage. Slashing.
Okay, so it's um all right. So each of you do a perception check.
All of us?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
11.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I think I just dropped my D20. Oh. Nope, I didn't. I got a 20 overall.
Okay. All right. Now then. I think it's the mummy's turn. Well, it's Darla.
We didn't see
Okay.
anything with that perception.
What?
That
Did Darla see
perception?
anything with 17?
Nobody noticed it.
Okay.
Okay.
Darla gets 2 attacks as well. Forgot about that before. That's 12.
That's a miss.
Oh,
No, wait a second. 12? That's a hit.
okay. So 12 is a hit. For 13 damage?
Okay. And that's slashing damage?
No, that is piercing with my longbow.
Okay.
And 22 to hit for the second attack.
Yeah, that hits.
And 12 damage.
Okay, it's definitely what would be called bloody, but I don't know how mummy would be bloody. Anyway,
It's unraveling.
Yes. So the creature's turn. It gets a swing at Barbos again, right? So let's see.
Barbos or Bofu, both are within range.
It'll stay with the same one. 16. But it's a miss.
Misses.
However, now Darla is at the back with a bow. What's Darla's armor class?
14.
Okay. So let's see here. Definitely hits. Darla gets hit from behind. Where did they go? No. For 5 slashing. And what happens is you see the winged creature behind you. Oh yeah, and it hit and it did 5 points of damage to you. Now then, I believe is it Barbos' turn now? Yeah. So Barbos, what do you do?
Gonna attack the mummy again twice.
Okay.
So there's a mummy and a flying thing?
Yes.
18 and 23.
Both hit.
First one does 12. Second one does 17.
You killed it. Okay. So it's Bofu's turn.
All right. I'm going to attack.
But Darla's behind you.
Is she attacking me?
No, but there's the winged creature is behind Darla.
Here, check out behind me.
Darla's behind me, and I'm not looking back that way last I knew.
Right, so you turn around and you see I'm in melee. Or
Yeah, what happened was the creature snuck around you. That was the perception roll.
If Darla says something, I'll swing around and attack the winged creature.
Darla swung at the creature last time, didn't you? Yeah. So.
well, I have my bow out. I actually have to drop my bow.
Okay.
It would make a nice loud clatter, so yeah, Bofa would look, see creature, and
But what happened? Okay,
attack.
let's say you won't attack this round.
Right.
Because, So it's Darla's turn.
Yep. I do move to engage, though.
Okay.
So
Okay, so I dropped my bow. So I have to pull out my short sword and attack.
Sure.
And I roll a 1. Oh, come on.
You nearly cut your thumb off. So anyway,
But I get a second attack. Which does also sucks. 4, 6, 12? 14, actually. 14.
misses. So it's the creature's attack. Okay. So 22?
On Darla?
Yes.
Yeah, that hits.
And then 9. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm a little hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, you've just been a punching bag lately.
All right.
You need to get behind Bofu so Bofu can take some hits.
Now then. Okay, so that's the creature. So now it would be Barbos, but Barbos is at the very end. Right?
Yeah, could I make it to her and attack?
Yeah, the corridors are quite wide, so you can come around and attack.
All right, I'll do that. Attack twice again.
Okay?
That is 28 and 24.
Hits.
First one does 15, second one does 17.
Dead. So you've killed the creature, which was a succubus,
Ooh.
by the way. So
I think we should give this place a good sweep and clear.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a little tired. Can we call it just at 10:30? So
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay.
It's a good place to stop.
Yeah,
place.
good cliffhanger.
Okay. Okay, so I'll work out I gotta get close to your experience, but I don't think anybody's quite gone up a level or anything yet. So we'll work that out and go from there. I'll set up another one next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine next week we'll want to start off by searching and yada yada yada.
Okay, so I know that I will have a game. Let me look. Okay, one thing. Let's stop the broadcast.